So now you can see the agenda for today. So we'll have a 4G retrofit quick update because you know more about that in a second. I wanted to spend some time as well on to the data sharing offering we have, just to make sure that you have no question. Also, that for those who are not very used as well to the process itself, just wanted to do a quick reminder as well in here about the web service integration, for example. And that is obviously room for asking question here. So if you want to jump in, ask any question about the data sharing, you can just like unmute yourself and ask the right. Then after all of this, the three next lines, so data sharing, reminder on dual mode and integrators list, they are all related to data sharing. Then we'll go to the Gen AI. So wanted to give you a quick update on this, and what how you can help me as well still up today with the Gen AI. Then there will be a quick reminder about the Energy Insight dashboard that will end in a few weeks. We have the last workshop happening soon, and we'll talk about one success story, but I'll have some more for the following months. And then just a quick summary of what the team is working on today, right? So now let me see how it works. Yes, let's start with the 4G retrofit. So this is not the usual format I'm sharing with you. I just put update to come soon. So we had some few challenges. You know, I was doing the cross matching myself, looking for the 2G, 3G sunset for each of the operators for every country. And it doesn't work that well. For example, like in the UK, the picture changed because obviously Tree, so our network provider, is not working with every single operators in all the countries. So they have some roaming partners, right? And not knowing the roaming partners obviously make my job a bit harder, because giving you the high picture is great, but you need the picture from Tree, like, you know, like knowing who they are working with, you know, basically when these guys are ending up the 2G and 3G. So far we had some incomplete information that was leading us to some like bad surprises, like the one for the UK, like in the last 2 months. So we had a call with Tree last week, just defining, like clarifying, like what we were expecting from them. And early next week, they are supposed to provide us a new file that will highlight the roaming partners they are using in each of the countries. That's what we have been looking for months now, since April or May this year. So we should be able then from now to give you a clear picture, and not that unpredictable. let's say it like this. So I have no clear date for you today, except saying that next week we'll have something to provide you much more accurate, because it will be based on the roaming partners information from Tree. Okay. So I left, as usual, the standard slide, like giving you some few information about what is available, not available. I just would like to talk about quickly UT units and Frigo Block. So Frigo Block, there have been some few units fitted in three dealers in Europe. We have tested two positions, the wall mounted and the undermount, knowing that we need a minimum of 5 units fitted for the same position. So 5 units minimum for undermount and 5 units minimum for wall mounted, to be able to get enough data for the validation, right? So now we are into gathering the data from all the units that have been fitted. I'm still working with some of you to understand as well the exact position, because it has been some few challenges on that as well. And as soon as we have the 5 units we need to be able to give a conclusion of the validation, then I will come back to you and giving you the outcome of the validation. So Frigo Block is a bit more advanced than the UT, because we already have some units fitted for months. For the Frigo Block, we are now just checking, do we have these 5 units in each of the positions, so that we have enough data to give a conclusion. So I should have in the next 2 weeks an update on this, and I'll be able to pass that on to you. For the UT series, we have identified some dealers, and thanks very much. I want to also thank those who participated to the Frigo Block. validation as well, because I know it's logistically it's very challenging for you. You need to identify the customer, the units, and then get these units in the
J'attends vraiment
workshop
un
to
retour
fit
de
the unit,
l'assurance d'abord,
the
et
blue
après
box too.
on va voir ce
So
qui va venir
I
après.
can understand it's not
Et
that
c'est
easy.
qui c'est qui t'a
Sorry,
envoyé
guys, I
ça?
would just mute yourself. Yeah, thanks very much.
Ah oui,
So thanks for always playing the game with us.
d'accord.
And so now for the UT series, we have identified the 5 units we are looking for. If you are interested into participating to this field trials, we can open up to more than 5 as well. I mean, the more data we have, the best it is, right? Because if a unit is traveling, let's say if we are doing validation only in one single place, then obviously we would prefer to have a mix of different places across Europe. So if you have any UT units that we could fit the blue box to on for the validation, please come back to me. That would be very, very important, and that will help us to accelerate or like speed up the validation of the blue box 2 for the UT units. Okay. Now let me go through this. I won't go into details. That's all about the part numbers and the prices for the retrofit. Do you have any questions so far on the 4G retrofits? Okay, I will jump to the next topic now, which is a big chapter about data sharing. So I just wanted to clarify, because some of you are very familiar with data sharing and offering, some of you are not that much. And I think it's always good to give like refreshers, or I don't know how you want to call it, but just to make sure that everybody has the same level of knowledge about this, and they are clear on the offering as well we have from Thermo King and Connected Solutions, right? So if you have any question that when I going through these topics, just jump in. I think it's really important that don't be shy. I mean, and if you don't feel comfortable jumping in, you can just type the question in the chat, and I'll make sure that that this is answered. Okay. Okay. So just has a oops, sorry, just as the base, what is data sharing? So what do we call data sharing? Data sharing is all about sharing the data of the TK units of a customer with a third party. Okay, so the customer, let's say, is using a third party platform because it doesn't only like handle the fleet, but also like a TMS. You know, they are using a TMS system, so the transport management system, and they also like assigning jobs to their drivers through that platform. They also like monitor the driver's time, the driving time, everything, and some as well are just issuing as well the wages, like they are doing the salaries as well from that system. So they have such system, and they are interested in seeing the data of their TK units onto that platform, onto that system, right? So that's where the data sharing comes. It has multiple names. You can hear about data sharing, web service integration. That's the most common that you can hear around in the company. We have 2 ways today of sharing the data of a TK unit to a third party. The first one is the web service integration, and the second one is the iBox protocol. Okay, I will go into details of the 2 of them. So the first one is web service integration. So what is it? I tried to put a drawing, just like to put the big speech into few graphics graphs a little bit. So basically, you have a customer using the third-party platform, and they are also using tracking, or they can even like not using tracking, because we have what we call connect and share. This is a contract which is only for data sharing. There's no access to tracking. This is also something that can be here. But you can imagine that the customer is using another platform and you want to see the data. So first of all, it will have to pay for a tracking subscription to get access to the data first. And then it can add on the top of any tracking contract, it can add the web service integration. So it can say, I want to share my TK units data with this third party. Okay, the way it works is that the third party has to use what we call an API, which is application programming interface, and this interface is already developed by us. So for us, for getting the data from our server, this is the REST API. It's called REST. Okay, sorry. So basically, what the third party has to do, we send them over the user manual of the REST API. They have to do their magic on their side. They have to basically develop a way of using our REST API, and then ingest the data from our server to their platform. So that's the way it works. So they are using that API, REST API, to call the data from our server and have them sent to their own server and platform by extension. Okay, that's the way. Hopefully it's simple enough to explain it, right? The REST API is for one way. So basically they call the data are coming in, like it's a big batch of data, and then it's ingested into the third-party platform. Just display, data display, there's no interaction with the unit whatsoever. They just see the data, they're just getting the data, okay? At today, might change in the future, but at today, we have also historically the SOAP API, what was the very first web service, the first API that Connected Solutions has created for the web service integration. So the SOAP API historically is there, and it's only used at today for the two-way communication. So if the third-party platform can provide the two-way capability, then they will have to use the REST API and the SOAP API. REST API to get the data of the units, and SOAP API to get the two-way communication capability, so that the customer can send remote commands via the third-party platform. Okay, I just see that there is a message as well. I don't want to miss that. Oh, again, sorry guys, I have to interrupt the read AI. Once again, this is not something authorized by the company. Everything outside what has been, oh, that's weird. That has been agreed by the company cannot be used, so I have to stop using this one. Okay, I have to stop. If you can stop it, guys, for those who initiate it, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll have to do it after because I don't have access right now. Okay, sorry, going back now to the topic. So yes, so if the customer wants also the two-way communication via the third-party platform, they will also have to use the SOAP API, right? Is that clear for now about the web service integration? So web service integration, it's within the tracking system, basically, because it can only be done via, you have to set it up onto tracking to get this web service integration. It can be added on the top of any contract, connect and set, connect and track, connect and control. You do have the connect and share, which is only sharing, no access to tracking. Okay, this is what we do recommend. Why? Because all the data that are included into the REST API that will go through the third-party platform are exactly the same amount of data that you can find onto tracking. So they are all of the data you can find on tracking. They will also be available via the REST API, yes, for the web service integration. Okay, so that's what we do recommend. I will now go through quickly the process of setting up a customer web service integration for a customer. You can always contact the support team to go through the process with you and support you in there, because I know that sometimes you only have to set up one web service integration once in a while, like probably once a year or something like that, very rarely. So we can understand that sometimes the process is not that automatic for you as well. So let me go through quickly the process into tracking for having that web service integration set up for your customer. Oh, sorry, I'm just going back on the questions for XLX retrofit. Any news if the global can be installed at the position from global? Okay, so for XLX, XLXI, XLXC, there is no change of position of the Blue Box 2. So it's still fitted on the top of the unit. There are some works right now around the positioning of the Blue Box 2 at the Blue Box 1, but that is absolutely not validated. So we'll let you know, obviously, when we'll have that approved by the engineering team. We'll have that widely communicated as well. You'll get built in, and you get that, officially communicated through the network, the dealer network. But for now, no, there is no validation. So Bluebox 2 for XLX, XLXE, XLXI on the top of the NID, the original position. Okay, no change on that. Okay, let's go back to the data sharing now. So basically, when you go onto tracking, you go onto your customer menu and you select the customer or you create a new customer, right? You have different tabs. You have the contact information, you have the billing and everything. And then you have this data integration tab. This is where you have to go for setting up the web service integration for your customer. Okay, so you go onto that tab, you tick the box. Okay, then you fill in the fields. They are all about the third-party name. So you have already a drop-down list that you can pick the name from. If it's not in the list, you can simply select other, and there will be a new field popping up where you can just like enter the name of the third party there. Why is it so important? And I'll show you in a second when we talk about the integrators list. Sometimes you have some customers who would like to go to integrators and they don't know who is working already with us at today. So we have some customers using integrators in every country, and we can always give, you know, like a recommendation that say, oh yeah, this integrator A, B, and D, they are working with us already at today. We can see that some customers are using them. So you can easily go to them. They know how it works. They can integrate very easily with us. That's the first topic. Then secondly as well, it's important as well for us, Thermo-King, to know where the data goes through. And I think that's the only way we can know about that. So to understand who are the most important integrators on the market and working with us, that is also something very important for us. So that's the second reason as well why we need this information. So this is not made compulsory today, but really, I really encourage you to put the name in here. That's really helping us for many reasons, right? Then you have another field which is called IP addresses. So as you know, I simplified because I'm not technical enough, but for me, every laptop or computer has an IP address, or every device actually have an IP address, like the phone as well. And then in here, you can imagine that we have a system which is the TK server, tracking server, which is protected. Nobody can just access it, and not everybody can access it like this, obviously. So to allow somebody to access the data, it's like they have to give us the IP address so we can recognize, oh yes, this IP address is for this integrator, and we know that we have to give him access to our server so he can call the data from our server because he is linked to that customer who wants to see the data on another platform. So the only way for us to allow this data call from a third party is via these IP addresses. So you have to mention here in that field all the IP addresses that the third party would be using to call the data from our TK server. Okay? Once you have done that, there is another thing you have to do, which is, I don't know where it goes. Yes. Now you have to also attach a document. This is called request form for web service integration. This is an agreement that has to be filled in and signed by the customer. This is available onto InfoCentral, where you have the word link. There is the link to InfoCentral to get that document. And you have simply to attach it in here onto the tab. Okay? And then you have to fill in some information. So you can see it's all about IT details, because if there is any issue about the web service integration, and we can see there is an issue about the data call, for example, that is, they are calling too many times, because we also have like some rules into the manual that they have to respect. They don't have to call the data too often, because it's loads of data coming out. So we need to know who can we contact in case there is something, right? So that's all it is about in the IT fields, let's say here. Once you have filled in everything, attached the form, you hit submit. The request goes to the support team. The support team will review everything, that there is the attachment. This this is filled in, signed by the customer, that all the information we request for the IT is here as well. The IP addresses are there, and they are handling the IP addresses whitelisting, let's say, task. So once they have the IP addresses, they go onto a system, they ask the IT team to whitelist these IP addresses so they are allowed to call the data from our server. Once they have done that, they will hit confirm or approved, and then it means that the web service integration is set up. The admin customer, the admin tracking customer user of the customer will receive an email to set up the password for the web service integration, and then the system can start working properly and the integrator can start using and calling the data. Okay. We have created 2 documents around the web service integration. One is dedicated to the dealer and one is dedicated to the customer. It just gives you, like, step by step what a dealer has to do or ask a customer about web service integration when there is a request. So for example, the customer called the dealer and say, I want to get web service integration. This document, you just open it and it's like, there are the steps, step by steps. Okay, send the form, collect the form signed, ask about this information, and so it gives all the process for the dealer, and that's the same as well for customer, because customer are working with then the third party, so they need to know what they have to provide the third party, basically. So this document as well is listing step by step what the customer should get from the integrator, what they should share with the integrator, etc., etc. So that the web service integration goes well. Yes, no, I don't know. No, like, thanks for your email. I don't know. I couldn't stop when I click on the link actually of the app red. Usually I have a message asking me if I want to stop, and I can simply click the button to stop it. And now it shows me an error message. So I don't know if that means that somebody already stopped it. Hopefully, yes. I'll have a look at that after. But yes, please don't use any other tool that we have. I will, as you see, we are recorded. I will have the transcript as well. I can share with you if you want. I will send an email to you with the link of the recording of the session, a summary of what we have discussed, the presentation. So you already have everything. And if you need something else, just come to me, please. Don't use any kind of tool like this. This is a security risk for us, so we cannot risk anything in here. On my login, it's called web service. Okay, I'll have a look. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's called as well web service integration. True, that's the tricky one. I was in my mind, I was like, web service is the one I knew before, but when I checked on my account, I could see web data sharing, but or data integration. But yeah, that is clearly the same. As soon as you see data sharing, web service integration, data integration, that is all about this, the data sharing. So you just have to go onto that tab and tick the box. Yeah, that's the same as well. Okay, so if you have no more question about the process, I just would like now to talk about the IO box, because I think there are loads of confusions about IO boxes. Yes, Andrew, pop in.
Morning, how are we doing?
Hi, Andrew.
The biggest problem we have with the web service integration is that the email that gets sent out to it gets sent out to the admin of the tracking site. Isn't that correct?
I can't hear you very well, Andrew. Sorry.
The problem with when you do the web service access, the link with the details gets sent to the admin of the tracking account.
Yes.
Yeah, and they never have or remember the password or the link. Every time it happens, you go back to the admin. Oh, I don't know what it is. I've never used, and then you tell them you did use it. But is there no way that we could be contacted with the link as well when it's been issued?
No, I know that.
We see the same this side, yeah, because the integrator actually needs it, but it ends up going to the regional admin, you know, and
Correct.
then
Yes.
he doesn't send it to them, or he can't remember or whatever. So it's always an issue then to get it from there, or to change it. We've had to actually change the admin using the tracking support team to the integrator so he can actually get the data that he needs.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah, I know
Hey,
that
Fabian, we
oh,
talked
sorry.
about it several times.
Yes,
So
yes,
you see that this is a problem from all the dealers.
yeah.
So nothing happened, and I asked why. All the
Yeah,
dealers,
but
you make connectivity calls, and we tell our problems, but nothing happened.
yeah, I get your
You know the
frustration,
problem,
Fabian.
Soshik. So that's
Yeah,
the
no, no,
reason
no.
why
I
I
totally
say
get
it.
you. I
And it's
totally
very
get you.
complicated, very, very complicated.
Yeah.
And then someone from the customer think, okay, that's my username, and then they change the password. Then the interface stops, and yeah, it's complicated, and it's
Yeah.
not very easy to handle for the dealers. So I'm absolutely with the colleagues.
Yeah, no, no, no.
They're
I get that. So just short answer because we talked about that a few times, and I know it's frustrating for you. It's frustrating for me as well. You know, I mean, we would like to do all the changes you request, but unfortunately, that is not that easy. But to come back on that, so all these improvement, let's say, process improvement about web service integration has been captured. You can make sure that we are reviewing them. We are working on the new tracking 20x. I'm not saying that there will be significant changes about this on the web service, but you can make sure that when they will be developing the web service, that we will bring these improvement requests to them and we'll see the feasibility. If there's anything we can have done for the new platform around this, it will be done. Today, I can't engage on that because the team didn't start working on the web service integration yet on the new platform. So I don't want to make some false promises. It's not my type. But I can tell you that this will be for us the opportunity to bring these improvement requests to the team and see if there is any way we can do differently on the new platform. This is a willing from us, product management, but this is also a willing from the development team as well. So we'll make sure that we do as many improvement in that sense that the one we have mentioned to get somebody else receiving these credentials or the link to set up the password for the integration for the web service. We'll do as much as we can to get that onto the new platform. I can't tell up to date will happen or not. I don't want to give false expectations, but that's really when we will review the system, we will review the process, and we'll try to see if there is room for improvement on the new platform. And I hope it is. That's really my big hope. So on the current platform, there will be nothing changed. I have to be fully honest. We are working on the new platform. There is no change that will be done to the current platform. But the new platform is a hope for me and hopefully for you as well, that things will be different on the new platform. So I have that topic. I have the list of all improvements you would like to get from your feedback, guys. And we'll bring that up to the team to understand the feasibility and how we can make that web service integration process easier. And it's not even easier. It's, let's say, more logical from an interaction perspective because the integrators need the password. So it makes sense that they are at least in copy of the information. But we'll have to check because obviously we have to factor in as well the password protections and all of these security standards. Yeah, anything, guys? So my short answer is nothing will change on the current tracking, but we are looking at that for the new tracking. And I'll let you know as soon as we have anything defined or any news about how it will be onto the new tracking. You can count on me to give you some update to let you know if there will be some changes or not. But hopefully there will be. I mean, that's what we all hope for anyway. So, and there's room in here to do some changes. So, okay. But you are heard, guys. I just want to let you know that I can assure you that everything is captured. We frequently and very often review all the improvement requests to include some as much as we can in future projects, which is on the roadmap, or we try to push as hard as we can to get some improvement as well done. But it's not always easy. We have restrictions of resources. That's everywhere. I know it's frustrating from time to times, but we are doing our very best. And for this topic, hopefully I will have some very good news to bring you for the new tracking platform. Okay, guys. Now for the iBox protocol. So what is iBox protocol? So basically, the customer doesn't have tracking subscription. Okay, he only wants to get access to the third-party platform. The third party has its own device, telematic device, where it's getting the information about the position, the temperature, for example. And they have a special harness hardware to connect their own third-party telematics device to our Blue Box. Only possible with Blue Box, nothing with Blue Box Lite, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So this is all about Blue Box here. So they are connecting their third-party device, telematic device, to our Blue Box, and that way they can get the data from the controller. Just for you to know first, you need to the third party needs to buy a protocol. The protocol has a cost, and it's on demand. So in the sense that if you have a customer who says, yeah, my third party wants to get access to your iBox protocol, it has to go to, actually today it's Raduca, okay, the product management team, and ask if they can have access. She has to approve it, and then they have to pay for the protocol, and then it's good to go, okay? This is not the preferred option and recommended. Why? Because the iBox protocol hasn't been updated since 2018. So everything we have implemented, like new features, new data we have on the tracking platform since 2018, for example, is the fuel consumption data for the advancer. This is not in the iBox protocol. So this is not accessible and visible for the customer on the third party via the iBox protocol. Okay, it's only available via the web service integration because, as you do remember, I told you that in the web service integration, you can see all data that we have onto tracking. All the data are sent out to the third-party platform, which is not the case with the iBox protocol. iBox protocol is something like it's an heritage. Let's say it's a legacy, I think you call that. It's been done like a long time ago. And as we had the web service integration coming in like a long time ago as well, we have the strategy as well to end the iBox. I mean, we would like to stop the iBox. We cannot, because obviously some customers are using it, some integrators are using it, some big actors like Schmitz, for example, they are using it as well. So we cannot stop it, but we always encourage for any new customer coming to you and say, my integrator doesn't have the iBox protocol, can we get it? Please do not try, at least, to recommend for the web service integration first. And you can see that there is a big advantage as well. The Blue Box is already fitted, right? With the iBox protocol, they have to buy additional harness, and they also have to buy a third-party telematics device. So they have extra cost anyway for having that setup, right? When you're going to the web service integration, it all goes through the Blue Box. The Blue Box is already there. You just activate it. Even if you don't want to get the full package, you can just go for Connect and Share, which is only sending the data, which is the cheapest subscription we have, right? And then it goes to the third party with much more information that they would get from the iBox protocol as well. So there are like very good pros for the web service and big cons for the iBox protocol. So we don't recommend you to suggest about the iBox protocol. We really want to push on the web service integration. Yes, clear? Okay, so the way it works, I did this small drawing in here. There is connection in between the third-party telematics device to the Blue Box. And doing that, obviously, it's getting the data from the controller via the blue box, and it's sending all the data are sent via the third-party telematics device to the third-party platform as well. Yes, Pierfranco, tell me.
Buongiorno, Swazik. You are
Hi.
telling us that through the iBox you get much less information that with the tracking.
Yes.
Do we have a list which information are passed and which are not out of the 48 information we have with the tracking?
I might, I can ask my colleague internally to see if we have a way to give you the list of data we have through the iBox protocol. The data you can have for the web service, it's pretty easy. We have the REST API user manual, and you can find all the data listed in there. So there are hundreds. So you can find them here. But it's true. I don't remember having seen the list of data you can get from the iBox protocol. So I can try to see if I can find this list internally and I can circulate it with you. Yeah. So you can see clearly the differences in between what you can get from iBox and what you cannot. So yeah, that's always something that can be beneficial for you as well, to push the customer to go for the web service instead of the iBox. So yeah, I take the point, Pierfranco. I'll try to get this list for you so that you have it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Swazik.
Yeah, I can see there is a hand up. Hey, Kenneth, tell me.
Yeah, hey. No, it's just when you look just for Denmark, we have two major players, OEMs. That's Krone and it's Smiths, and they offer the telematics as a standard when you buy a unit, and we always are asked to connect the iBox protocol to their telematics. So so we not really, and you see that it has a cost, a monthly cost if you go for the web integration. So it's really hard to get up against that.
No, so, I can understand. Actually, when I was seeing that some are already using it, Schmitz is part of it and Krone as well. So they already have the system up. I mean, in the sense that obviously they have access to the iBox protocol data. I mean, for a long time. So legacy is that these guys will always use, actually for now anyway. Hopefully they will change their mind one day. But for now, actually, the data they are getting from the iBox protocol is enough. They consider it is enough. What you can do with the customer himself is just to show him what other data he could get if he was going into tracking, for example.
Yeah, because but then you add an extra cost to the customer, and that's
always
already it's challenging to get them on tracking. So
no, that's for sure. I mean, it's always like a good balance in between cost and what the customer wants. Obviously, if the customer wants some more data and is interested into the data of the fuel consumption, for example, for the advancer, then yes, he will have to pay extra. But if he can get some benefit from having that data, then it's winning at the end, because he can have control over the fuel consumption and see how he can save as well some fuel. So it's always like a good balance in between the two of them. There is cost and benefits as well. But you can always show, the capability and what you can do onto tracking and get onto tracking versus what they can see onto the Schmitz or the Krone platform. And just see with them. If they say, yeah, I would love to get that information, that would be very beneficial for them, then yes, there is a cost. And then it's up to them to decide if they want to invest or not. But if they see the benefit of paying for it, I mean, yeah, that's always something we can discuss.
The iBox protocol is not updated, because then we could, together with Smith and Krone, offer a better sale at the end customer. So because the extra cost may be beneficial for them, but
exactly,
not enough when they look at the final product. It's
maybe, but that's maybe it's always it depends as well of the customer, on his usage, on fleet and sensibility as well, sensitiveness to temperature monitoring. I mean, there are loads of factors, obviously, you know about, and this is really up to you to feel like. I think it would be great anyway to discuss about showing the customer he could get these two data or this set of data onto tracking what he cannot get onto Schmitz and Krone. And that's where Pierfranco is right. For you to be able to push on the data we have only onto tracking versus what they can get onto iBox, you need to know what is in iBox. So I think the first step here is for me to try to get that list of data which is included into the iBox protocol. And then from there, you can have a look and say, okay, so we have this set only of data only available onto tracking. Is there anything in here that would be very beneficial for the customer and that could benefit him in terms of logistics, saving time, daily operations, fuel saving? I don't know. It's really depending on what's out of the exercise, but that's always something you can go through, an exercise you can go through. And if you just like go to the customer and say, listen, you have a fleet of X advancers, do you know that you can have the fuel consumption, and do you know that you'll have as well the dashboard coming up for you dealers, where you can identify some saving opportunities as well. It's kind of like all a big combination. How can you create some more benefit for the customer around the data that are only on tracking and not on the iBox? But it will start obviously with the iBox data list, and then we can take it from there. We can support you as well on that exercise. I can discuss with Veruca and see how we can build up a stronger, let's say, argument, like sales pitch around the web service when the customer is already having data as well via iBox on the third party. We can see how we can support you, but clearly there is room for discussion. And if the customer says no, it says no, but it might see opportunity that are okay for having that covered, with extra costs. It's something that you will feel as well. You know your customers very well, so you know where you have rooms for discussions and where it's kind of, now he has enough with what he has on Schmitz, and he won't accept any extra costs by getting this or this extra data from tracking. So it's really up to you to decide, okay, this is the approach I want to get with my customers. Okay, so I don't know why it doesn't do it like this. Yeah, I just wanted to remind you about the dual mode. So as you know, we have the Advancer who goes with 2 years free connectivity. At the very beginning, when we had the Advancer out, the dual mode wasn't available. So it was just one mode or the other. So it was either in tracking mode, so the customer could see the data onto tracking platform, or it was in iBox. So the data were sent to a third party like Schmitz. Okay, we had no choice. But now, now it's been a while now. Actually, I think it's been over a year, if not 2. We have the dual mode developed for XLXI and Advancers. So this is not an excuse anymore from the customer, in the sense that now you can offer as well tracking at the same time that the unit is used by Schmitz in iBox. So there is no issue about that. And because they have the 2 years free connectivity, they can really enjoy the full set of data from tracking, and having still in parallel their access to Schmitz with the data they are getting from the iBox protocol, which is much less than what we have onto tracking, as we were discussing just before. So you have everything here. It says about how to configure the unit in dual mode. So it gives you the steps, what to do. You have to contact as well the support team at the stage. So this is describing in the built-in CS023. You have the description of all the process for having the dual mode on Advancers and XLXR units. And you have also an FAQ at the end of the built-in. So if you have any question, you can have a look. If there is no answer for you to your question, then you can just come back to me and I will find the answer for you. Okay, so that is really important to keep that in mind. The dual mode is here for Advancer and for XLXI. There is no excuse anymore not to activate the Advancer in tracking mode while this is used in iBox mode by Schmitz, for example. We can do the 2 of them. And if we don't do that, then the customer just never sees tracking. He can never experience the tracking platform, like benefits and features during these 2 years. And it's a pity, because they really have a chance to see what they can get. There will be some more and more features coming by the end of this year and early next year, that will be very, very good for them as well. So this is really a pity that they don't have access to tracking for the first 2 years when it's free for them. So please, we really encourage you to use the dual mode. for every unit you have. If you know, if the customer says it's in iBox, fine, that's in iBox. You do activate it into dual mode. And if the customer is not interested into accessing tracking, even for the 2 years, even though he knows he has access to tracking, we have an onboarding, and I can share that with you again, a series onboarding process that we have built up with recommended approach to the customer. So basically what to do when the unit has been ordered, when it has been delivered. So you have the welcome to tracking email, blah, blah, blah. So you have loads, and then you have like follow-up meetings as well, like with them, like how you can help him being trained on tracking as well. And you can probably create some reports on his behalf because he's not used to the system. So you can show him what he can do. But if the customer says, no, I don't want to get access to tracking, I already have my Schmidt's platform, I'm fine with it. Okay, that's good, Mr. Customer. But then you can activate it for first yourself, because if you activate the intent to tracking, then it means that for you, dealer, you have this unit as well for free onto your service assist view. And on the top of that, you can have all the data as well for the next 2 years. So it's really beneficial for you because you can create some more value for your customer. You can come every month, every quarter with the report that you have done from Service Assist with recommendations, probably some aftermarket sales as well, like saying, okay, if you fit a solar panel on these devices, that would be good because we can see that they are low voltage, whatever. You can really bring some value to your customer and create some value for your dealership. But also as well, you can create some reports for the customer. For example, he doesn't want access to tracking, that's fine. You tell him, are you okay? I set up like a schedule report every Monday morning to you, and that will include this information, and this is how you can just like benefit from it. That's also something you can do, and that is all listed as well onto this A-series onboarding process that I will share with you again today. If you want, I can attach it to my email after this call. So you have loads of opportunities here about the dual mode. Either is creating some benefits for the customer or you both at the same time. It's usually what we aim, but you can do something. I wish from our side is to make an easier procedure to activate the dual mode function. See, is it not just that activated, or at least a box to tick? Okay, I take note of that. I will capture it. So what, if I remember well, for dual mode, and that's what we have in the Hopper, the only improvement I saw was to be able to see onto tracking which units have the dual mode and which ones are not. Because at today, you just see the tracking list, you have the list of vehicles, but you don't see which one has the dual mode and which one doesn't have dual mode. So that is something that we have in the radar for the new platform. So I will add that one. Yeah, clearly that's a fair point, Kenneth. I will add this one. Okay, because here it's like, so I can just quickly answer. No, I might not be able to answer the dual mode functionality. Why is it not as standard? Okay, I'll check that. I'll check all of this, guys, and I will answer in my email to you today or tomorrow when I have the answer. Yeah, fair point. Okay, any other question on the dual mode? Nope. Okay, let's go next. I talked a lot and I see the time running, so let's see. So I don't want to spend too much time on that because I already discussed it during the June monthly call. It's just a reminder that you can find on Info Central the list of integrators that are used by our customers at today. This is per country. Yes, you can do a filter on country as well. And you can also understand if that integrator has the REST API or the two of them, REST and SOAP. So basically, if it's only REST, then it's just one way. So it means that this integrator is not providing the two-way communication ability or capability to his customers via his platform. If you see REST and SOAP, then it does provide as well the two-way communication. So it's just as well a way for you to understand, what integrators have already the two-way capability implemented on their side, or which one doesn't have as well. So it gives you all this information as well. I audit it twice a year, so next time will be coming soon in November, by the end of the year anyway. So if you have any specific question, you can always come back to me, but that is what you have at hand at today. Okay. Now, launch of the GenAI. I will be pretty quick on that one. So we had a very good 2 sessions last week for launching the field trials of the GenAI. So as you know, the GenAI is a tool that will be embedded onto tracking. We asked for volunteers, and thanks so much. It was so good to see so much excitement around the GenAI. So we have loads of dealers, users, loads of customer users being part of the field trial, which is absolutely amazing. So we can't wait to see your feedback. I just want to remind you that, and I'm including myself in here, because last week I was struggling using the GenAI tool. I was typing a question and it wasn't getting me the answer I wanted. What I did, and that's really what we expect all of you users to do during this field trial, so the next 4 weeks and a half now, is to ask the question. If the answer is not what you were expecting, or you see something which is not exactly what you were expecting, please click on the button feedback and put some details like, oh, I cannot see this, or you really clearly mention what is missing and what is not working. Why? Because first we need to improve that. That's why we're doing the field trial, because the team has worked for months on that tool. They have done some trials, they have done asking questions, but they are not dealers, they are not customers. So they don't really ask the question the way that we all do. Like, they already know the system so well that they know how to talk to him, let's say, So it's always important to see in real life how people does ask question to the tool, and do they get what they request. So I've done that exercise last week. There was one question I couldn't get the answer I was expecting. I filled in this feedback button and I filled in the comments. And yesterday, actually, I had my colleague going through this with me and trying to investigate, and he will come back to me and he will let me know what's going on there. So this is really what we are looking for. Please leave your feedback. Say, this is not working. What is missing? You just put everything. That's what we need. And then the team is going through all the feedback. They are checking themselves. They are seeing what's wrong. The most common one is that the topic we have selected is wrong. It's not the right one. So if we ask for historic data and we pick the snapshot of today, obviously the system doesn't show you what you are expecting. But for my question, for example, there's something more that they have to investigate, and they will come back to me and say, okay, we have done the adjustment in the back end. Please try again that question. And then I will try again. I will see, yes, I have the answer I need. That's correct. Good to go. So they are adjusting the system based on your feedback. Every single feedback is looked at, reviewed, checked. If they see that there is something they can help on, they will just come back to you by email. So from next week, you will start receiving emails. So the users that are involved into this field trial, whatever it is, customer or dealer, or even in-canal, like me, for example, will start receiving emails from the team, directly from the team, when they can just do something and say, please try again, or you should try asking this question, or pick this topic. So they will just come back, not for every single feedback, because sometimes the feedback is a feedback and there will be no action further after that. But you can make sure that the team, if they see something that they need to adjust behind the scene, or if they have to just advise you, maybe ask the question that way and see how it works, if it works better, or do this, they will do it. So you start seeing from next week some emails from the team directly to the users, customers, and dealers about the feedback they have left on the website. Okay, we also plan to send some tips every week. Like, I think it will be kind of Thursday. Every week starting next week, all users involved into that field trial. So I will send email to the customers and the dealers using their email address for their users. I will be sending like, did you try this, or did you try this question? Did you know you could ask question about this? No, that kind of stuff, so that we can also like keep on the momentum. Let's say that's something we like to say in here. Just to make sure that during the next 5 weeks, people will be using the system as much as they can, because that's really what we need from you. Obviously, it means that if we start sending some emails directly to the customer users, you dealer needs to have these customers trained before. So if it's not done yet, I really do encourage you to do it from today. There is an email that we have shared with you guys on how to approach a customer to announce, yeah, this is now the field trial has started. And we have created a training video as well, which is, I think, not even 5 minutes long, that the customer can watch as well to see the capability, the features, and what they have to do for asking a question. So yes, please do that. This is only in English. I just repeat that because we have seen that some users have tried the system, but they ask in different languages, which is not compulsory. And this is not forbidden, but the system only supports English. So if you ask a question in English, it will give the best answer in English. If I ask it in French, it might give me the right answer in English, but it might be not that good. And if I was to send that question in English instead of French, it would have given me like a better answer. So please use only English. That makes a big difference in the answer that the system will give you. Okay. I think it's Andrew, right? Yeah, Andrew, tell me.
Please don't send the emails to our customers with logins and IDs.
With what, sorry?
Please don't send login IDs to our customers. It needs to come from us, not direct. We have to go train them first. Okay,
so what about the tips then? Will you forward that to the customer every week? We just want to make sure that we are not, like having some discrepancy, like some gaps.
Yeah, but we need to train them first. We have to
go
to them and train them first. But don't send them logins and they get an email and next thing they don't know what it's about.
Oh no, but the logging, I won't send that. It's with you dealers. What?
Yeah, but you said you said you're going to email our customers there.
Yes, just for the tips.
No, don't please. Yeah, please don't do that.
Okay, so okay, Andrew.
That's just for my customers. I don't mind whatever else.
No, but that's fine. I get that, Andrew. I just want to make sure that okay, so because we only have 4 weeks left.
Well, for us, you're going to have to extend that because we're so much problems here with.
No, we won't be able to extend it, Andrew. But that's fine. That's fine. Do as much as you can, Andrew, and we'll take it like this. So let me see, because the issue here is that it makes it easier for us as well to just go to the users using their email address. So okay, let's take that offline, Andrew. I'll discuss with my colleague to see how we can do that. But the tips can still be sent, because it won't tell them what they have to, how they have to connect. It's just like, you can do that with the Gen AI tool. That's it. That's only thing that the content of these emails. There will be nothing about connecting. And then the worst case scenario, they can just contact you and say, can you please tell me more about that?
Maybe what we'll do just with this one we'll link in offline and we'll try and figure it out.
I don't want stuff going to them.
That's fine, Andrew. Okay. We'll figure it out offline if that's all right.
Okay. Is there any other dealer that would like us to avoid sending the tips emails to the dealers, to the customers? If you want, you can just put in the chat box, or Tracy as well. Okay. Put your name and put me, for example, and I know because I really have to look at that, because it's only tips. We are not doing anything else. And if the customer wants to ignore it, that's fine as well. I mean, he's not doing it. Or if he's just asking, okay, what is it about? He should know, but what is it about? He can just contact you back. So we can always put a sentence in the tip saying, if you want to know more, contact your dealer, and then you're still the. Okay, let's see. Okay, but please tell me in the chat box if there is any others from you who don't want the tips to be sent to the customers. And then for the rest, we have done a demo video about Gen AI. It has been sent to you a few weeks ago, and that's the link in here. We would like as well to get some more feedback from customers. So if you could just basically show that to your customers in the next few weeks. If you meet with customers, you can just show them the quick demo video, not the training video, but the quick demo video that is on that slide. And they can just tell us what they think about. That would be very, very helpful for us. Okay, I see that we are over time now. So yeah, just this one is about the next workshop is happening in 2 weeks. This is, please make sure that you can attend. For those who are participating to this demo program, please make sure you're attending the last session. We will conclude over the field trial, I mean, over the demo program. So we need all of you to be part of the call on the 14th of October, right? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have to speed it up a little bit. So we have the success story every month for the last 2 months, I think. And then today I wanted to talk about about the success story with the customer Mubarad. So the customer Mubarad is from renting company, is a renting company. They also have the size of the size of the deal is about here. It's about 200 units. The customer needed to get some real-time location for their units because they need to understand when it's rented to the companies. Where are the units? So the telematic solution was to get a tracking subscription, connect and track, and they needed to know like really frequently the positioning. So we went to the lowest logging interval that we have, which is 5.5. So we have the dealer has offered to the customer a connect and track, 5 logging on, 5 logging off for 2 years with monthly fee. So no pay up front, but monthly fee. Why did the customer pick Thermo King? Because first, they are loyal Thermo King customer. They had some few experiences with Carrier, but they had some technical issues with the units, so they were not very happy about Carrier units. So they wanted to get Thermo King units. So the role of the telematics in this deal is that basically they were using a different system before for tracking the units, cheaper tracking system. But after a free demo that the dealer has done to the customer, they could show them the performance of the TK solution. So they could easily see that the tracking system they have, which is cheaper than tracking, is much less performant that our own tracking solution. And they also could see that it was very difficult to disconnect the blue box. So it made them confident that they will get the position data continuously for their units. And having that guarantee of having the location for the units continuously made a big difference in here. So for the customer, the connectivity brings certitude that they will be able to locate their units all the time. So there will be no issue about not knowing where the unit is. And it can also help for stolen units. We had some few experiences where customers gave us a call and say my unit is stolen, and they could just see the location where to send the police or whoever has to interfere in here to find the unit as well. So here it's a very good story that that with showing the tracking tool to your customer, showing the differences with the current system they have, and really pointing what they are looking for, which is here the position. And on like 5.5 logging minute interval, it's like almost real time. Then it makes a big difference for customers, and they are willing to pay extra for that. They're okay as soon as you have spotted what they are really looking for, and it's critical for them, and you can guarantee them they will get this information all the time or on the regular basis they are expecting. Then you can obviously bring the offer on the table, and they are likely to go for it. Oh, I don't know where this one left in here. Sorry. Up. Just wanted to show you quickly what the team is working on today. Not so much difference from last month. They are working on the phase 4 now of the new tracking. Talking about that, there has been a release yesterday on the new tracking, and for those who are using the dashboard, energy dashboard, and the GenAI, you could probably see that it has been down since yesterday. So the team is working on that, and that is linked to the release that happened yesterday. The team is working on that, and I'll be sending an email to all the champions when everything will be sorted, so you know that the system is back up again, right? So they are working on the phase 4. TK1 View, which is our platform for all brands, will be soon out in the next few weeks. They're working on evolution. They are working on our GenAI, which is now called Ask Tracking, not Ask Aura anymore. And the analytics storefront as well. So we have the energy insight dashboards today in the pipeline, and there are much more as well that the team is working on. So that's what we mentioned in here with analytics storefront. That is all about new dashboards. Okay, guys, sorry, I've been over time. Do you have any questions? So I noted all of your questions in here. I take the point with Andrew and Tracy as well for the GenAI. See how we can handle that. And any question, guys? I know it's a lot. I'm so sorry. It's been too ambitious, I think. I really have to see how I can put less topic on the agenda next time. Sorry for that. But if you have any other topic you would like me to cover next month, just let me know. Pop me an email and I will add it to the agenda. Okay. Okay, guys, then we'll stop here. Thanks very much for your help, and thanks very much for joining today. Sorry for the extra time. And I'll talk to you